Our children will benefit when we remember that education's mission is to teach the whole child and to teach them to be successful and productive in this 21st century. Teaching the whole child requires full education in the sciences, mathematics, English writing and reading, and the arts. With a firm foundation in those fundamental areas, children are taught to perceive and process information logically and creatively. They will have the means of thriving in education and, consequently, in life, with the background of exploring different approaches and methods. Not all of these fundamental areas are being met in the Lakeville Public Schools today. A thorough arts education core is necessary to ensure a brighter future for any society, and therefore the arts programs that were drastically minimized and altered due to the school district's budget cuts must be restored and rejuvenated. At the beginning of the year 2011, the Lakeville School District was confronted by a $15.8 million budget deficit. There are several factors responsible for the deficit, germane to issues with state funding, the failure with local levy elections, and the end of the federal stimulus funds. To manage this shortfall, Superintendent Gary Amoroso, along with the school board, outlined a budget plan for the upcoming school years. He announced that, "I have to be the deliverer of bad news. Everyone has a passion for what they do. One of the reasons we're a strong system is because of those passions. But we can't save every program. That's just the reality." Amoroso said this about the new budget plan, which called for the elimination of 100 teaching positions, 5th grade band, and the downsizing of arts programs, larger class sizes, and an increase in extracurricular fees. James Coate, member of the school board, states that far fewer students will have the opportunity to participate in the Arts Lakeville area public schools. There have been 15 art teachers in the Independent School District 194, but with the final cuts, that number was reduced to 5. Currently, art teachers are not employed in any Lakeville elementary schools. Instead, according to Richard Oscarson, principal to Eastview Elementary School, art is still included in the children's education development, however, just not to the degree or the rigor that it should be. When the budget plan removed art classes from the elementary schools, ISD 194 had Kitty Soderberg and other art specialists compile generic art lessons for the remaining classroom teachers at the schools. These lessons were then integrated into the curriculum as an attempt to maintain a sense of creativity and innovation. Imposing this new curriculum on the elementary schools teachers has added stress to their jobs as well as taken time away from the other core classes. Principal Oscarson often receives negative feedback from the teachers pertaining to the generic art lessons that they have had to adopt. Most of the complaints are that the teachers don't have enough time to prepare for these lessons. Oscarson also said that for the hour that it takes them to prepare to give these lessons to the children, it takes them more than an hour and a half to prepare these for each day. This means less preparation time for the teachers to ready themselves from other classes, ultimately adversely affecting the children. Classes dedicated to creative expression and imagination cannot be adequately captured in the standard classroom setting. Art classes are designed to reach children on a level that cannot be met in another standard classroom. They provide freedom and diversity in a mere flexible, patient environment. This can lead to a more emotional investment into their learning, thus inspiring children to work harder and to develop a work ethic while also learning from each other. Parental involvement is also encouraged and increased. With art competitions and shows, parents are invited to take part and bond with their children. Art classes help form relationships and connections both with people and ideas. At the University of Oregon, Michael Posner and his team observed brain activity in 4 to 7-year-olds during their art classes. He said that students who study the arts seriously are taught to see better, to envision, to persist, to be playful, and to learn from their mistakes, and to make critical judgments and to justify those judgments. Education in art, as well as other core classes, is imperative for a child's learning experience, and it should not be denied nor limited. Art inspires individuality and creativity and encourages the forming of relationships. Art classes are necessities for elementary schools to ensure that those children flourish in such establishments and eventually into their futures. The need for art programs should be reassessed, and specialized art classes should then be restored into our elementary schools to help ready society's next generation of leaders.